Now you have a parabola. Could you graph the square root of a parabola? Yes. Okay? You will go and look, is it ever equal to 0? Yes. Here and here. That's important because the square root of 0 is still 0. Does it ever equal 1? Yes. Because the square root of 1 is 1. Are there any nice points? Well, technically it's 4 right there. So you would go straight down and you could do 2 right there. And it's 4 right there. So we could do 2 right there. Looking at your graph, can you see on this one, you'll be very tempted to make a mistake on the slightly above. Okay? What are the mistakes? Well, going back in time is the #1 mistake. So that would lose a half a mark there because you really wanted to show that it went above, but you had to do by going back in time. The best you could probably do here, like almost draw exactly on the same line. So you're not going back in time. And then after it's below. Anything? And this is our graph. That's all there is to it. So you need to know, when is it equal? When is it above? When is it below? Ooh, this one's kind of interesting. And you see how there's nothing in between on the blue graph? It's because you cannot square root a negative. So that whole section is empty. Now the domain of the blue graph is a little tricky because it's in 2 different parts. So one way that you can write the domain, you could write it in the 2 different parts. This part is when x is less than or equal to 1. This part is when x is bigger than or equal to 5. And we put the word or in between. X could be less than or equal to 1, or x could be bigger than or equal to 5. The range, here, just wait, I'm going to show you domain. Y values are bigger than or equal to 0. Question?
How would you write that domain in interval?
Oh, you know what? I wish we had arranged this and I prepaid you because that is exactly what I was going to do next. It was like the perfect question. That's why I left the space. Brandon, he's thinking way too much, right? Why couldn't you be more like Sam and be on the phone?
I don't know how to do it that way.
That's going to be on the video. You can watch that later. Okay, how would you write this in interval notation? This one, you would go from -infinity to 1 with a square bracket. And this one would go from a square bracket of 5 to infinity. And in interval notation, we don't write the word or, we make a big U. For the range, the interval notation isn't bad. Square bracket 0 to infinity.
One question.
Yes.
How do you call the U? What's the name of it? Oh.
Union.
Oh, yes.
It's united. It's the union of this one and this one. But it just means or, not and. You want to know the symbol for and? Upside down U. That's the symbol for and. This one's for or. I think of it as or. And then it works out perfectly. Okay? Second one. In green. Is there any places where it's 0? Yes. Is there any places where the y value is 1? Yes. Any nice points? Oh, here's 4. So 4 would be 2. Here's 4, 2. And here's 9. Square root of 9 is, square root of and 9 is 3. That one's nice as well. So now we just have to do what's above and what's below. So when the y values are bigger than 1, when you square root something, it gets smaller. Can you see that this section in here, well, it's got to go through all of those points, would look like that. And between 0 and 1 has to be slightly above. Can you see there's almost no room whatsoever to do slightly above? So your best bet is just join it, and if you think there's a little bit of red there, make it thick. Because that's hard to not go back in time or forward in time on those ones. Okay, for the green one, the domain. Now the x values are between -3 and 3. But you could write it in either set notation or interval notation. And then the range, the y values go from 0 up to 3. Okay. So, quickly circle number 8. And we'll go to example 3.